Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the karma in astrology and how to understand your karma in astrology. So the first thing that I want to mention is that astrology gives us a chart, an idea, a place to start. It's not 100%, everything is going to be 100% spot on and true, especially if you don't have the right information to actually put into a chart. Like if you don't know your time of birth, if you're off, by a little bit of time, that can really affect it too. So it's important that you have the right time when you're applying certain knowledge to a given chart or situation. So the first thing I want to mention is that everybody in their astrology chart has something that's called a north and south node. And these are not necessarily planets. They're actually uh, movements of the moon and how the moon moves. And every 2 to 3 years, the moon moves its position and its cycles that it goes into. Okay, so when there's a full moon and a new moon, it moves in a certain direction, which is associated with a certain amount of um, movement into certain signs. So, for example, right now we have the North Node in Cancer and we have the South Node in Capricorn. Okay. Now, in a chart, in a person's astrology chart, it's really important to look at the North Node because the North Node will give you an idea of what that person's purpose is in life. And this information is becoming extremely important for so many people today because a lot of people don't know what their purpose is. A lot of people are confused. A lot of people get into jobs that they don't really like. Some people are going into programs that they don't even like in school. So it's extremely important that when you're looking at somebody's chart, whether you're an astrologer or you're just doing it for the fun of it, that you're actually looking into what the purpose of your what your purpose is in life and why you're here. Okay, and a lot of the times, like, I've studied and I've practiced and I've looked at other people's destinies in life, and I've seen that the correlation between the North Node and the South Node really do exist. Now, in my experience, your South Node is a life that you've already lived. Okay, so if you are very, you know, if you're really focused on something that you've already done, you're not really creating the life that you need to be creating. Because here's the thing, when we are born into the world, we don't really remember the contract that we've created before we even became in existence on the planet. So, what I mean is that before you're even born, you have a contract that you've created, and your birth chart is that contract. A lot of people might say, well, how do I know that contract? How do I know my purpose? Well, it's all in that chart. And there's a reason why horoscopes have been created. And that's a completely different video, another idea. But that chart that you have, that human design and astrology chart, mainly an astrology chart, not human design is a different study, but the astrology chart that was created is your contract. That is the contract that you made to yourself, to the higher being, if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher purpose, whatever you believe in, we are all one. And that chart has now developed into something that you can look at and follow. You don't have to follow it 100%. It just is there to give you insight, especially in the new age. The new age is a time that where things are changing, people are changing, and technology cannot give you that insight. Technology will not give you the insight that you need. It can give you some insight, but it will not give you a more insight or a lot of insight into who you are as a person, because a chart is created for the purpose of understanding why you're here, who you are as a person, how your relationships work with other people, how you're supposed to live your day to day life. What does your soul want? Your North Node speaks about what your soul wants, not what you want in this moment, not based on survival, not based on your feelings. It's based on what your deep down your soul, when you die, your soul wanted to accomplish something when it was here, on this planet. We want to understand that. So the North Node is what is going to give you that insight. Okay. If your North Node is in one sign, it's going to be your South Node is going to be in the complete opposite. Okay. So let's say, for example, your North Node is in Leo and your South Node is in Aquarius. Okay. You're going to want to look more into Leo tendencies and what Leos are more focused on. Leo is a very royal sign. It deals with royalty. It deals with, the heart. It deals with entertainment. It deals with children. So these are areas that you may be wanting to focus on in your life if your North Node is in Leo, but it may be hard for you. Okay. Your South Node, if your South Node's in Aquarius, then you're going to be more focused on Aquarius tendencies, but your South Node is a life you've already lived. Keep that in mind. So you're wanting to focus more on the North Node. For many people, the North Node it can be very difficult to follow your North Node, to follow what your soul wants, because it's an unfamiliar territory. It's a place that you've never been. Okay, your soul has never been there. So how do you develop the capacity to fulfill your North Node? The way you do that is by focusing on your South Node and going back and forth. Okay, so a lot of people who have a North Node in Leo may have you will have a South Node in Aquarius, and Aquarius deals with charities, organizations, large groups of people, technology. So a lot of you who have a South Node in that sign will be drawn to that. And a lot of the times, the beautiful thing about astrology is that if you're focused on your South Node, your North Node will come at that moment of you focusing on your South Node. Okay, like you will be drawn to achieving your North Node through your South Node. So if you're focusing on charity work, if you're a South Node Aquarius, you're focusing on charity work. Maybe you're doing some charities. Maybe you are focusing on creating some sort of technological based app or something like that. You will automatically be drawn through certain situations within being in the South Node to the North Node. Okay. So it's kind of like you have to, you need to be doing both. You need to be doing South Node and North Node as well too. Okay. So they work in tandem. They work together in being able to fulfill your soul as a human being. Okay. Your soul as a human being on this planet has something to achieve. You want to achieve something, and you will achieve that through understanding the South Node and the North Node. Okay. A lot of people feel stuck in their life. A lot of people feel depressed and unable to fulfill the things that they want. But these two elements, our components in the birth chart, are there for you to evolve your soul. Your soul is here to evolve. And these are things that we usually don't talk about on a daily basis. These are things that are hidden from society and here to confuse you as a person. So that is my rant on the karma, how karma works in with your North Node and South Node. Now, actually, I didn't really talk about karma, so let me just go over that a little bit. We did talk about the South Node and North Node in the chart and how that will affect you. But karma is your south node. Karma is your south node. So wherever your south node is, that is what you did in your last life. So, if there's planets that are close to your south node, it will give you an idea of the kind of person you were. If you're an astrologer, always look at the south node in someone's chart and see what sign it's in, what planets are close to it, what degree it's on. That is how you figure out karma in somebody's chart and how they can uh, not necessarily fix that karma, but evolve from that karma. It's not about fixing, it's more about evolving. It's more about overcoming something than it is to just fix it, because we're always changing as people. We're not, you don't ever stay the same from when you're born to from when you die. There's so many different levels of changes that happen in a person's life, that the south node is there to give you an overall general view of karmatically what you were doing in your last life and what you can do better, so that when you do pass on to another place off of this plane, that you've achieved something while being here. A lot of people get distracted. A lot of people are unsure about who they are as people because of technology, because of certain obligations in life, having to make money, have a career, being able to sustain yourself on this planet. So it is a lot. And that's why these charts are available to you. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Hope you like this video. Please hit the like button, comment, subscribe to the channel. All about astrology and the development of human evolution. Okay, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.